Hello, I'm back. It's been a while. Um, other projects, other things. Um, the idea of doing Tedium Unlimited is to give me something to do with video, but I've been working very hard on my Pizza Locust videos, which I'm going to see if I can't put a link to somewhere at the beginning or the end or on the screen or whatever. Anyway, Pizza Locust channel, if you want to look it up on YouTube, if I don't manage a link, is where I am trying to post weekly reviews of pizzas I've eaten. Obviously, they are mostly here in Phoenix for the moment, but that will change as time goes on. Yeah, that's been an interesting experience, actually. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't trust reviewers. I mean, all you have to do is to go onto Yelp, right? You can go on Yelp and I can guarantee that if a restaurant has more than, I don't know, 10, 12 reviews, then you are going to find 5-star, 0-star. Well, they don't do 0-star, but 1-star, whatever. And then the whole gamut in between. And I know we've got the whole bell curve. But the fact is that for every person you can find that loves a restaurant, you will find a person who hates a restaurant, which means that there is no objective value in reviews, except for distribution along the mean, perhaps. If the bell curve, I guess, skews towards this side, maybe there's some statistical value to it, but for the most part, the individual reviews are useless. I mean, you might find somebody who reviews a restaurant who thinks broccoli tastes good, and then how can you trust anything they say? I don't know. But you can trust mine because I am a pizza expert. I have many, many pizzas under my belt, and some of them spilling over the belt. Just, at times. Not at the moment. Well, a little bit, but not, Anyway. The funniest part. Funny, haha, funny, whatever. Funniest part is I was expecting, right? I was expecting, and people to be pissed off at some of the reviews. I mean, I love pizza, and all I want when I walk into a pizza restaurant is a good pizza. But how often that happens? I mean, even a bad pizza is edible. I've never had one so bad that I couldn't eat it. I guess if it had broccoli on it, it'd probably be unedible. But, but I do have a standard, and damn it, I want it to be cooked. It's like I don't want it to have uncooked flippin' dough. And if you screw up shit like that, you're gonna get dinged. And there is a very popular pizza restaurant here in town that, particularly the location near us, I'm trying not to swear, screws up probably half the time. And when I went in for a review, they screwed the pooch. And I really did expect to get a lot of shit back from the crowd on that one. Not that the crowd is very big, but it's been bigger than I thought. There have been hundreds of views for my videos, which is more than I expected, frankly. Anyway, the part that gets me up is the part in the comments that gets the most ire, the most vitriol, is not, "Oh, you idiot, you don't know anything about pizza." It's, "We use the imperial units and inches in the United States." Like, what a bunch of fucking morons. Well, so much for swearing. It's like, this is what gets you. This is the Trump voter base. These are the assholes who are reactionary fools. Anyway, this will probably get no one will see this one, so that's okay. But it's like, no, actually we don't. The metric system is legal in the United States and has been since the 19th century. The metric system has been the preferred unit of measurement in the United States since the 1980s. It's what we use for commerce and trade. It's even inches and feet. Do you know how they're defined? They're defined in the metric system. And I don't mean that you find inches and feet in the metric system, but that if you look at the legal definition of an inch or a foot, it is measured against the metric system, because that is the international standard. So, take that what you will. But anyway, I measure pizzas because I'm actually physically measuring the pizzas in these videos, not looking up at the sign and says, "Oh, it's a 12-inch pizza." It's like, no, I'm measuring the pizza. And I don't want to shame them, because 12 inch is a marketing term, and 12 inch is the size of the pan. And pizzas shrink and grow, and they're slightly different sizes because they're not made with a ruler and whatnot, and they're plunked out on the table. So for working out what it cost, I measure it in centimeters because it's more accurate than measuring it in inches. And it also divorces it from the marketing hype. And you still get the correct ratio. But we'll just there. Anyway, that's what I've been spending all my video time on, is working on that. And also worrying. As you may know, my eldest child, Mel's, is in Taiwan studying at the National Taiwan University Mandarin Training Center. And we had to go down to Los Angeles. It's a weird system. We had to go to Los Angeles a while back and get them a visa, a 90-day visitor visa, and allowing for multiple entries. And we're able to do that because they had enrolled in school, and they had proof that they were enrolled in school. And the semesters are about, 95, 100 days. It's like not 90 days. So you take a semester, and then you, then towards the end of the semester, I kind of feels a little like a scam at the university. Scam's the wrong word. A ploy. Ploy, that's a good one. Towards the end of the semester, if you have enrolled and paid for the next semester, then you can go down to the visa office in Taipei, and you can extend your visa another 90 days. But of course, if class is more than 90 days and you are extending it 90 days, you're now into the next semester and you come to the end of it. Now, when you get to the end of the second, or when you get to the end of the first extension, you can actually apply for what they call a permanent resident card, PRC. No, ARC, alien resident card. Sorry, there's an APRC, and that's an alien permanent resident card. That's different, an alien resident card. So, but that's basically the same with one difference. You have to get a medical exam, and it's good for 3 years. So Mel's was signed up for the third semester, and then went down to, had to do the paperwork in advance of the visa expiring, and following instructions from the university. And I'm not going to enter into whether or not the instructions had information about what kind of time frames you needed, but they didn't work. Mel's had to go get a medical exam because for the resident card, they want to know you're in healthy shape, coming in for insurance purposes. And Mel's got that 2 or 3 days before their visa expired, and it takes like 10 days to get the results back. So they went down to the visa office anyway, and like, well, here's all my paperwork and here's the stuff, and the exam's not back. And they said, tough, you got to leave the country. And if you want to apply, you'll have to apply for a new resident or visitor visa and start the process over again. And you'll have to do it outside the country, because you can't do it inside the country, which, rightly is a bit of a freak out. And so we were a little, and we're halfway around the planet. There's very little you can do. So, but there is one thing you can do. A U.S. citizen is allowed to show up at the doors of Taiwan if you have an airline ticket to leave within 90 days, and they'll let you in. So we hastily purchased plane tickets for Mel's to go to Okinawa and spend 2 nights there, and then purchased Mel's a return ticket within 90 days to the United States, and we sent them to Okinawa for an impromptu vacation. And then they came back, and they were let into Taiwan with no problem. It's totally legit. It's just stupid that we had to do it this way. But of course, they don't have a visitor visa at this point. They're just there on entry free, so it's time limited and has to leave. Of course, you could leave, go to Okinawa again, and then come back. And I've heard of people who are actually working illegally in Taiwan doing that for years and years, which is obviously illegal because you're not supposed to be working. But Mel's is not working. Mel's is studying. It was a whole mess. But the practical upstart is, I have a lot of faith in my kids, but at the same time, I also know that my kids don't have a whole hell of a lot of real world experience, and some of them handle stress better than others, and that would be a very stressful situation. And saying, okay, hop on a plane tomorrow, well, it was 2 days hence, hop on a plane 2 days hence, go to a place you've never been to, you don't know anything about, you don't really speak any of the language, although Mel's has some familiarity with Japanese just through exposure through my stuff in Ultraman. And hang out with no plan and no friends and no contacts for a day, and then hop back on a plane and come back into what is essentially still another foreign country where, if you know anything about customs and immigrations officials, is that they wield a lot of power, and if they've had a bad day, they can make a lot of trouble for you. And if they make a lot of trouble for you, it's not like I'm a U.S. citizen, I fly to Taiwan, I hit Taiwan, and they say, no, you can't come in, I just have to get back on a plane. And the airlines don't like that, which is why they check all your stuff before you get on the plane, right? But it's another thing when you're coming in from one foreign country and you're transiting through, and they can't send you back. Well, they could technically send you back to Japan, but that's weird too, because then you'd have to go. We were sweating bullets. It was. There was no, intellectually there was no problem. We knew this was going to work. See, I'm still doing the knock on wood thing. We knew we were going to work, and yet, knowing it here and down in here and here are two different things. And of course, the flight came in to Taiwan in the middle of our night, so we're up, can't sleep. Then it took over an hour, which is an incredibly long time to get through immigrations in Taiwan. I mean, when we weren't hearing anything, no text, no responses. It was touch and go for us, and there was no problem. It's just it was a very long line at immigrations. But it doesn't matter. I was stress eating, seriously. I actually lost weight since my last measurement, a little tiny bit, but it's like I'm surprised because I have been eating like a pig the last few days since this happened, beginning of the week. I thought for sure I'd packed on a couple kilos. Well, I actually lost one. Maybe that's from stress too. Anyway. Yep. Also got this cool, there's a picture of it, magic arm for my, for any of my cameras that have a tripod mount, but magic arm for the Osmo Pocket 3, whatever the hell this camera is. And that's nice. That's nice. I finally can get it up high enough You put it on the tripod and it's down, it's down here and it's looking up under your nose. And nobody wants to do that. So you can get this at basically eye level, slightly higher than eye level. And yeah, it's great. Well, there you go. Enough tedium for you? I thought so. Ciao, which is Portuguese. Just letting you know.